Hello, dear friends. Welcome to this program, Our Moments with God, our moments with the Word of God, our moments with the love, mercy, and compassion of God, our moments also with the holy ones of God, the saints of God. And here you see one of the saints, Saint Joseph, whose statue I am using, though it is not his feast day, but I will come to the point why I am using this statue of Saint Joseph in the background. And I ask you also to be co-proclaimers with me of the Word of God by simply sharing the videos with others. I know some of you are getting tired, I think, of listening to me and therefore are not watching the videos, or if you're watching, not taking time to share. Please do that because I am making a lot of effort, doing my best to the best of my ability. Maybe you don't like my preaching, I don't know. But you can at least share the videos with others. Maybe somebody else will like it. And I ask you please to also press the like button and also write comments below the video. Thank you. Yes, today the church celebrates the feast of Saint Francis de Sales. Yes, some people in English call them Francis de Sales, but actually because it is a French name, it is the real pronunciation is Francis de Sales. And Francis de Sales was born in 1566, almost 450 years ago, and was born in a very noble family in France, and was well educated, brought up very well, and even went to a private theological school to study religion, and naturally religion at that time meant Catholicism, and he was well versed in the teachings of the church. And somehow, therefore, he also got an inclination to serve the church. His father wanted him to be some big general in the army and wanted him to lead in such important government positions. And he was not happy when Francis expressed that he wanted to become a priest. But somehow, when he got a position in Geneva, his father gave into it. And remember, Francis de Sales, why I'm using the statue of Saint Joseph here is because he taught to his people to be very simple. His main teaching was how to be leading a devout life in your day-to-day ordinary family life or in the world. You don't have to be a priest, you don't have to be a nun, you don't have to belong to the hierarchy of the church to lead a devout and pious life. So how to live in your day-to-day life, I think that's why it is very important. And why I'm using the statue of Saint Joseph is because this man too led a very devout life, a very simple life. He was a humble man, a very man dedicated to God, to his wife, Mother Mary, and to his son, Jesus. And this is what Saint Francis de Sales is teaching, that you can be living an ordinary life like Saint Joseph, and in your day-to-day life, without doing extraordinary things, you can lead a pious and devout life. So that is important, not to do extraordinary things. You don't even have to follow an extraordinary vocation or a tough life. Though if you become a priest or a nun, that is much better if you want to serve the church in that capacity. But what he taught was that you can lead a devout life by living and practicing simple virtues that are given in the gospel or are taught by Christianity. Simple thing like patience, for example. How do you deal with people who are difficult to deal with? According to you, maybe they are finding you difficult to deal with. But how do you deal with them? How did Joseph, for example, a devout man, deal in the difficulty that he was put into when Mary was, when he was told that she was pregnant without even having married? So how did he? So in day-to-day life, another virtue that he spoke about, among different virtues, patience was one, humility, which I have also spoken of in my other videos. For example, how humble himself Joseph was. So though today is not the feast of Saint Joseph, I am using a concrete example of how a person can be so devout, can be so committed, can be so quiet, like Saint Joseph. As we know, he never spoke a single word in the gospel, we find. And Saint Francis de Sales also, along with Saint Jean-Marie de Chantal, also founded an order for religious women called the Order of the Visitation Sisters. And for men, he founded the Order of the Salesians, MSFS order. And let us not mix up this with Salesians of Don Bosco. Actually, the Don Bosco took the inspiration and spirituality of Saint Francis de Sales. That's why they are known as Salesians of the Don Bosco. But the original Salesians are those who followed the life or order of Saint Francis de Sales. So even the sisters are known as Francis de Sales. But once again, it is important to emphasize that we all can practice devout life, simple life. That's why he wrote this famous book, Introduction to Devout Life, that you can live very devout life in your day-to-day life. And my dear friends, if you like, you may please subscribe to this channel and also share the videos with others. Thank you.